One, two time for the cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Rockin' with the best, the cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. I like it now, cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Watching my bro, the cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the Cha-Cha Nation. You already know it's your boy Hafeestonova, aka the musical plug, creator of the Energy Force. I'm back as if I never left. Yes, welcome to the first episode of the Cha-Cha Let's Talk Music series, the third season. Trust me, this season promised to be big, better, and exciting. Now I get to do it now. I bring different guests and we talk about interesting and juicy conversation. And today I have one of my homies. I mean, my biggest supporter. In fact, this person that my brother. I'm just talking like that. And you know me now. I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself. What's up, homie?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Cha-Cha lovers all around the globe. My name is Gbemi, and I'm generally just a music lover, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to see what my brother is doing all around the globe, and I thank you guys for the support, for the love, and everything you've been showing to the Cha-Cha gang.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that you're here, Gbemi. It's been a long time coming. We've wanted to do this since like last year, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't want to do it over the phone because Gbemi stays in Abuja and I'm in Lagos, and we didn't want to do it, over the internet. So we said we need to find, a day to do this physically. And funny enough, we are not even doing it in Abuja. We are not doing it in Lagos. We are doing it in Abuja.
He makes it doper.
All right. So yes, what we are going to be talking about today is beef in the Nigerian music industry. I mean, obviously, you all know there's been a lot of beef in the Nigerian music industry, from Ruggedman to Wizkid and Davido, to Mode 9 to Nice, a lot of beef. But let us do it like this. Take us back to the first time you were cautious of, there's beef actually in the Nigerian music industry.
Why you to rap like Mumu? That was my very, very first encounter with beef, like Ruggedy Mode 9, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was the first time I knew, like, what the fuck was this? Like, why are these people
doing this to each other
and all that? So that was my earliest memory of beef. After that, it has to be Nice with the same Ruggedy. Then from there it grew to the likes of MI, likes of Kelly Hanson, Mohit,
Sinzu, and Icebox Slim,
Iceberg,
Godwin,
Ikechukwu.
A lot of them. I mean, there's been a lot of beef.
There was even beef in the with LD's crew.
What's his name now? Freestyle and LD.
Yeah, there was beefs in the crew. The Davido and Wizkid.
Yeah, the FCs and the stands and and all of that. The internet beef. I mean, we are still going to come back to all of that. But for me, I think like the first time I heard about beef in the Nigerian music industry that I was aware had to be the time of Eedris Abdulkareem and what's his name now? Tony Tetulia. Yeah, that was, and for me, that was where I felt the beef first started, from you don't eat my car, that was where I knew that, okay, damn, there was beef in the music industry. And from there, then we had this, after that, we had this, where, because Eedris was like a big, mounted person in the music industry where he could take shot at anybody and he didn't care. I could remember on this, his song, I think his, I can't remember the name of the song where it was talking about plantation boys or Two-Face, you are the plantation, but don't let that get into your head, So it was name dropping and all of that. And funny thing about that was a lot of people didn't know, but Tony Tetulia was part of the original Remedies before they split, before he became Eedris Abdulkareem and what's his name, Eddie Remedy, Eddie Montana and all of that. So for me, that was when I became conscious of, okay, so there is beef in the industry. So let's talk about, we've talked about how back we understood beef and all of that. So let's look about some of the major beefs, the one that stood out, which has to be obviously I mean, I think every Ruggedman beef stood out.
Yes.
Every Ruggedman's beef stood out.
Legend. Legendary
He's a legendary beefer.
Funny enough, the first beef song was he was actually taking shots at two people.
Yeah.
Eedris and
Mode 9. Yeah. In the same fucking song. Why you call it rap like Momo? Why you call it copy?
Coffee. Yeah. He has been the most legendary beefer.
I mean, of all time, I mean, give it up to Ruggedman. Ruggedman is when it comes to
different scenes of music. He has just
been. I mean, and for real, if you look at it, it seems like his career literally blew up beefing. Like that was what made us pay attention to a Ruggedman. Because when he came out with that song, what was trying to, I think it was what I tried was in a way to make us understand that look, Eedris was kind of,
was a whack. It
was a whack MC. Okay, so in that scenario, who would you have say, won the beef? Would you say Eedris won the beef or Ruggedman won the beef? I mean, when the old song came out, it felt like Eedris had to hide somewhere for a while.
Yeah, so Ruggedman, not downplaying Eedris. Eedris is a legend in his own way, but I think Ruggedman had more intellectual capacity to actually respond to a beef, to drop a beef song. Eedris was ready to just make it all physical and let's end this shit. What the fuck is happening? But Rugged had the musical vibes to actually throw out a beef song, and I don't think Eedris was into
he couldn't shake it anymore.
Like you can't reply a beef song with the same thing that's beefing you.
Exactly.
So I don't think if you have to give it to anybody for that round, it will be Ruggedy. Like he actually beats Eedris hands down.
What about the Ruggedman and Mode 9?
That was a tough one because Modo gave it to him. like Modo gave it to him. But the only difference is Mode was not commercially successful enough to actually get that traction that, okay, man, you really gave it to him. Like a lot of people did not really hear Mode's version.
Yeah.
Only the hip hop heads actually heard that, okay, yes, Mode really gave it to him. There was this song he did with them, Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, Thoroughbreds.
He took a big shot at Rugged, but I don't think he blew up.
But do you think that's because what's his name? Mode 99 was more, quote unquote, hardcore, or probably because Ruggedman was the wave of the moment at that particular point in time?
They were both waves of the moment now. At that point, since then, they've been during their time, the wave of the moment. Mode has his fans. Rugged had his fans. Rugged was more commercially inclined.
Yeah, so definitely.
He had more listening ear than Mode. So there's no way you say he did not come out on top.
But you know what? At times when I think about all those beef, what goes to my mind is what was behind? What was the motive for you guys actually beefing? I mean, for Ruggedman, I understood where it was coming from. So it felt like this is rap, right? You want to do rap music in Nigeria. Somebody would have to be saying trash just to do rap. And you don't have to stand like, all the slave masters for you to sound rap. You need to do rap in your local dialect so that people can relate. I mean, that was what he said in his song, people can relate with your music, just so something that people can relate to. So I understood where Ruggedman was coming from, trying to chase all that away. But the beef that, in a way, still kind of, I still really kind of get, was still the same Ruggedman, and now we are talking about Ruggedman and Nice. Now, that beef was a beef that I felt was not even needed to like...
There were a lot of under G shit that happened with Rugged and Nice that I'm sure we did not know. Of course, the one we publicly knew was Tony Payne, and maybe some coded people will know the real gist, but the one that went public was still Tony Payne. And I don't think one thing I think brings beef is bragging rights.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, everybody wants to protect his territory and his image and all that. And as a rapper, you cannot allow somebody to just step on you, even if it's somebody just popping more than you in the club. you should talk about it in your song. That forget that thing you do. I'm still your baba. So that bragging rights must, as a rapper, if you don't have bragging rights, man, just go and sit down and just be a singer and just do the slow stuff and all. But as a rapper, you need bragging rights.
And that's my point, because you said, just go and be a singer and all that, Ruggedman wasn't Nice is not a rapper. Which brings, because when you talk about beef, what comes to your mind are two hip hop artists going with it, bars to bars. And at this point, I think we need to give Nice some credit. I mean, considering the fact that he wasn't a rapper, I mean, the beef songs he did
were rap songs.
Some
were rap songs. He could not sing to respond to it.
He couldn't sing. That's why we needed to give him some credit. I mean, he had to bring in the likes of Seriki to come and and at that point, like I already said, bragging rights. And at that point, Nice threw the biggest jab at Ruggedman, saying, even your biggest song, I wrote the hook. But
that's the truth of it. Like, I'm sure without Nice on Ruggedy Baba track, I don't think we would have really vibed that track the way we did.
But come to look at it from this angle. Don't you feel like, because at that point, Ruggedman was a bigger name than Nice at that point. Now, don't you feel as like it was even Ruggedman that did Nice a favor, like, okay, you know what? Come on my platform, let me make you bigger. Then Nice came to the platform and probably stole the show.
No, it was a two-way street. I mean, at that time, Nice already dropped, I think it was the same day, already dropped certificate.
Yeah, it was already blowing up on the G,
Too much, little money was already running in the streets and all. So it was a two-way street, but I think he did more for Ruggedman than for Nice, because Ruggedman, he had his crowd, but Nice had the street cred at that point with little money, which I don't think Ruggedman had. So it was a two-way street, but I think it was more beneficial.
But Ruggedman had Baraje. And Baraje was classic. Move your body, make me shake that thing where you get.
Yeah, Baraje is probably one of the hottest songs in the early 2000s.
I mean,
it's a two-way street. It's very hard to determine
who actually helped
who. But yeah, it was a win-win situation for both of them. Like, Rugged helped Nice also helped Rugged with the track, and so, but Nice also took a very, very big shot at him. Like,
I mean,
like a very,
that was very, and it took Ruggedman a while to reply. Like, it took him a
while.
I felt he was not even going to reply at some point.
I think their beef happened in two different scenes. He didn't reply the first one.
Yeah,
it was the second, the graduation of the beef. I replied when he actually took shot at him. And I think Ruggedman would not have replied if Nice didn't do the old record, the voice record,
the voice recording stuff.
Phone record stuff. I don't think.
No one get it for phone.
I don't think it would have happened if there was that recording did not happen. That recording actually took the beef to another level, and that's when Nice dropped
Talk. I am listening.
Seriki and Ajayi Brothers, and Ruggedy dropped the what's the name of that song?
I can't remember the name of the song, but I mean, and for me, when I heard that song, I felt like, nah, Rugged has killed this. I mean, I couldn't even argue anymore. Like, I mean, like, unless we really don't understand the meaning, the deep meaning of that song itself. Because immediately I heard that song, I felt like, for Rugged had to that, and I felt that was probably why it took his time. He was looking for that perfect song.
For me, that's probably one of the top 3 best
beef songs
in the Nigerian music industry. That song, hands down, like top 3. Like, you can argue it anywhere. Worst case scenario, top 5. Like, that was it killed the beef.
Like, there was nothing more after that. That was
the end of it.
That was just it. It ended. No more story.
So that was the end of a beef decade.
I swear, nobody beefed again after that.
Nobody beefed again for a while. I think the next beef that came after that was...
It has to be MI and Kellyanne song.
Yes. And that one was... I think that one was a bit different because... people didn't really understand.
I think the beef was more like a misunderstanding. So you know this thing whereby rappers, when they make their bars, and they kind of use something
lines
and you just misinterpret the line. That was what really happened. There was just a misinterpretation of and Kelly Handsome at that point just ran with it and said, oh, you know what?
Okay, yeah, I think it was the Kelly Handsome is handsome. Fast Money, Fast Car. Yeah, that was in his first album. I don't think there was anything wrong with that line. I think he was just throwing it.
That's why I said it was more about the misunderstanding. Because at times if you don't understand rap fully, you might think it was a diss.
It was a diss.
Yeah, but that wasn't just, that was just, and Kelly Handsome just took like, oh, this guy is coming for me. And MI did already to say, Kelly Chico, clap for yourself. I mean, MI did a song titled Beef.
And that has to be another
one of the best beef songs.
Man, hands down.
I mean,
I think from that song to like Judas the Rat, I don't think there's any beef song that can compete with
that song.
That song, like, hands down, that's also be one of the top 5 best beef songs in the industry. Like, Kele Chuku, clap for yourself. Well done.
I mean, we are talking about beef, and we've actually spoken about 2 or 3. We mentioned 3 beefs from Ruggedman. Ruggedman and Jace, Ruggedman, Mudnai, Ruggedman and Nice. And I think at this point, it's literally safe to say to anybody listening to this, especially if you are trying to get into the music industry, you want to blow your career by beefing, please stay away from Ruggedman. That's one artist you should not even, don't try it.
Just
don't try it, because in all of his beef, he has never lost any. The last na draw. Last na draw. He has never lost any.
Like,
so please, don't even just try. And he does a kind of beef that might probably just end your career. So another beef I want to mention that I felt like, it went on a low, because at that point, I think one of the artists was still an upcoming, and the other one, the beef of the South. Talking about Eriga and Young Six.
The beef of the South.
I mean, the beef of the South.
From the two kings
of the South. Yeah. I mean,
there
was this beef of, I'm from the streets and you are just a botsy. And one of the reasons I like about the beef was because at each time, they took shots at each other in their songs. And you could clearly tell that that they were taking shots at each other. But that beef didn't really last long,
because they didn't call names.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody. Erika did not call names.
Yeah, Erika didn't call name. Young Sis also didn't call. They were just claiming I'm the king of the South. I'm the king of the South.
I'm the king of boy chill. But it didn't call any name, so you could always excuse that. Last, not be me they follow talk. If you don't follow me talk,
you will call
my name.
So
yeah, it was a beef, but they didn't really call it out as a beef. So yeah, that one can actually pass. But that's actually the biggest beef from the South.
That was the biggest.
That would be the biggest.
That was the biggest beef from the South. Because I mean, like those
rappers from
the South. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other hot rapper that would take a shot at any of these two
rappers.
They have the street creds, they have the hits, they have the awards, they have it all.
They have it all.
I don't think any South rapper can come to say, okay, I want to take a shot at this. Anybody can try. Like, it's the industry is free.
I mean, you can always try. Take a shot at them if you want to.
No, I don't think you're going to make it.
Especially with Eriga.
And now I think they are cool.
Yeah, they are cool. I think they've done about 2 songs together.
But I think they are cool now. So I think everything is safe.
And that's a good thing. So even Ruggedman and all the before he beef, they've been cool. Ruggedman and Nice, they cool. They did a song together.
They did
the part 2 of Ruggedy Baba. Ruggedman and Eedris, they also did a song together. Ruggedman and Mudnai also. And I think like that's one of the things we love to say about the culture. When you, at the end of the day, you put your beef aside and we know that it's just music. It doesn't go, beyond. But have you ever witnessed a Nigerian beef that actually went beyond the music? That you felt like, okay, they literally took it to the streets. Maybe they had a concert, they got there and started breaking bottles on their head.
The first record I have of that would be Damikrin and Wizkid. I don't know if they had the beef before then or what happened at the club caused the beef, but yeah, there were bottles flying around, heads breaking.
From what I heard about the story was the song Wizkid did, Emini Babanla. That Babanla song, that was where the beef of the from. So I think, all these people, they try to form cool and cool. So, what's his name? Dami Crane had just left Two-Face.
Hypertech.
Yeah, and Two-Face and Wizkid were cool. So I think all of them had like these cool Gino Brother vibes, and all of that. And I think they were in the studio, like, from what I heard anyway, Dami Crane had actually been working on the song Babanla.
Yeah. Oh.
Then Wizkid had the song and Dami's point was like, but guy, if you just tell me, say you won't use this song now.
This song.
And basically like,
was it the same song or just the name of the song?
I feel like the chorus, the melody of the chorus, and the word itself, Babanla. So, and Wizkid was like, like from the story again, like, why should I, like, will you be? So the club incident happened, and before
see as Yanni just a sweet for my ear. The Cha-Cha Let's Talk music series with Hafeestonova. Hey God, conversation with the boss break.
Tiwa Savage and she almost got physical.
Yeah,
scratch.
Scratchy. But let's talk about the old new school beef, because what we've been talking about from the onset has been the old school
Before
beef.
Before we talk about the new school, we need to get the crossover. How can you talk about beef without MI and Vector?
No. We're getting there.
Vector and Remininsce.
Oh yes, I totally forgot about that beef. Do you
understand?
But see, and again, I think that was another beef that just came out of nothing. That was another beef that came out of a misunderstanding of life.
I don't understand where the beef came out from.
It was just I think it was just somebody did AQ did a song titled Distraction.
Yeah.
And it featured Vector. And I think there was a line that Vector used in that song that Remininsce took personal. And that was where the beef just started from. Remininsce took the beef personal, and man, I felt like at the point that beef was going to get physical.
Yeah. Like we all thought.
Like for real, at the point that beef was going to get, because they were like, I mean, these guys called out their name, like their real name, not even their musical name.
Larry.
I mean, damn.
I'm happy the way it ended. Like, since then, they've done songs together, like Grillman Sheets. I would choose not to forget it.
I mean,
he did a remix. He was on the remix of King Kong,
yeah.
Larry, and the beef was, I think that was one of the most interesting beef
in recent times.
They dropped rap songs, like 2 or 3 songs back to back, dissing each other. It was really dope, like calling Remininsce video low budget. Like, but truth be told, That Could Be Chicken was a fucking low budget video.
But give it to how am I going to? Yes, it was a low budget at that time. I mean, this was at that point you could say Remininsce was still an upcoming artist.
No, it was not an upcoming artist.
I mean, come on, Kako was the song that blew him.
Yeah. You could.
Kako was the song that blew him. Yeah, before then, he was still a studio rat, rolling with them, Kabasa, Ajasa. So he didn't have he didn't really have a point. So that Kako Be Chicken was like his major song, and I mean, he did a song with SARS. Imagine what he would have spent on production then. Not to talk of now making. I mean, we knew what it was to make video back then. Now we know what it was to make. How many rap artists did music video back then?
I think doing his blonde hair made it more ridiculous. I'm a Remininsce fan anywhere, but
he still uses that hair today though.
But now it is signature.
Yeah, that is signature.
Like Makanaki, but it's a signature now. But then, like, I don't think a lot of people were blonding. Guys were blonding.
Nah, at all. I think it was even the one that started it. Yeah, I think it was the one that started in the industry.
It's safe to say it started the trend of guys blonding their hair.
Yeah.
But then it was, come on.
Okay, so who would you say won the beef?
Man, there was no winner. Because I think for the fact that they kissed and made up, like, I don't think there was a winner in that beef.
So we say it's a draw, right?
It was a draw.
Because I mean, they both had good songs that tackled each other.
They had good songs. Like, see, it's one thing to make a beef song. It's another thing to make a beat song that will blow.
Yeah.
Like some people would even dance.
That will dance to. I mean,
So it was, and for Vector to do a rap song, a beef rap song that blew. No.
And since we're on Vector, I think this what you just said just remind me that even Vector, I think after Ruggedman, Vector is the second most beef artist, because what you just said now, Vector beefed with Remininsce. Vector now had the chance to beef with AQ. Then went with the whole MI and almost the whole chocolate city.
Vector is a beef.
I mean, the guy really started going like, you know what? I don't care.
No, because he has the same thing with Ruggedman. He has the confidence. Like, the guy is like, forget, I stand my ground. Like, I have bragging rights. Like, he had bars. Like, he had the street cred. Like, the whole fucking Lafiaji was behind his back. Like,
Lafiaji.
Your Lagos Island was behind him, so
like,
he had the street cred, like he had the barracks behind him, so like I can't even fucking mess with Vector. So like,
but so I feel like among all of this beef, two were just major. The remaining one were just side attraction by the side. The major one was the one with Remininsce and the one with MI.
MI, those of course.
And how did the beef with MI start?
No. So, I think the beef with those guys, from what I've heard around, though, I think it was MI's fault because, yes, you can call MI a rat. I'm also an MI fan, like MI fan stan. So, but I think the issue about MI being a Judas, in quotes, like going behind your back and saying shit and saying something different in front of you, like, it was painted like MI is one of those guys that's going to hug you and fucking put a knife behind your back.
Okay.
So I think that thing was pissing Vector off. But I think even before then, that aggravated the beef. But before then, still about using lines from, I think, Kilode. He said something about MI in Kilode.
Yeah, I think about his height.
Yes, he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he threw... I don't think it was a jab. I think it was just
like a punchline.
It was just a punchline. Yeah. It was just a punchline. It would have been like, okay, because he mentioned the band, he mentioned Durella, he mentioned Jay-Z in that same song. Those guys would have come and say, guy, why they beef me? Why they beef me? So I think he just used MI to make a punchline, which should have just ended there. But MI being who he is, saw it as a jab and started just playing pranky games, being a rat, and all that. And Vector was not taking that shit because they come face to face and like, oh, guy, how far now? The same we enter studio now. Like, the street is yearning for this shit. And Emma is like, oh, yeah, man, let's do this shit. But when push comes to shove, like,
he backs out and he doesn't do
studio
anything.
Session is set. Oh, yeah, now I'm enter studio. Emma is nowhere to be found. So,
will you say MI was a bit afraid that Vector was going to, like, lyrically kill him?
Nah, I don't think Emma is afraid. I don't know why he didn't do the record with Vector all this while, but I don't think Emma is afraid. Like, so afraid of what?
I mean, I don't know.
He's the chairman. Like,
I don't know, but
he's the biggest rap artist in Africa.
You know what you have? I might have to disagree with you on that, but that's fucking don't let us go into that. Don't let us go into that. Don't let us get that. But let's go back to the beef of MI and Vector. Who would you say won the beef before everything came to an end?
See,
let me remind you people that Vector was actually working on an album. Then he had to put the album on hold just to do like series of beef song for MI, and I think MI actually dropped an EP.
Yes.
So but with all of that, let me answer the question that I gave you. Me, I felt that song that Vector did titled Alaye Jo. I felt like that was, for me, I felt like that song alone made Vector to win the beef. Because Vector said a lot in that song.
No, I think this one is
Vector
MI's.
said a lot in that song.
This one is MI's.
I mean, first of all,
for the fact that MI even said, like, come on, boy, I'm going to school you. Like, I'm going to talk to you like your daddy. Like, like he actually.
No, but don't you feel like that was just MI trying not to, like, okay, I don't want to chicken out because if I don't reply, I mean, what Vector did with Alaye Jo, Vector dropped bars, Vector dropped facts, and MI was just going around the bush like, oh, come son, let me teach you this. I mean, we don't need that in rap beef. We need you to go,
No, but sometimes...
Take shots. I mean, you went to Abuja, you went to Obuti or Yasha.
He's the last person that throws the punch that wins the game.
Okay.
So I think the fact that the last response was from MI would be one of the reasons why I'll say, okay, he won
the beef.
Yes, like Vector dropped bars on bars on bars on bars on bars on bars on bars. But that last shot, like MI actually calmed it down and just ended it. If Vector had replied or responded to that, I think the beef was already long enough to end, and people were already, industry's head were already trying to end this. Like NSC did a lot to end
NSC
it.
did a lot. I mean, shout out to NSC. NSC
Like,
did a lot.
Big shout out.
They did a lot.
So like people were tired of this beef. So I think it would have gotten to the point where the industry's head were just going to take these two men and like, come. Whether I like it or not, today, sit down, call the producer you want. You are doing this song today.
And that was where we got Clay of Sound, Crown of Clay.
Crown of Clay.
Yeah. I mean, and shout out to Fuse, Mr. Producer, for the production of that song. I mean, shout out.
That song. I don't know why that song is not blow.
I think probably because the song came out immediately after their beef, and people were probably just getting tired of the both of them. I mean, for the song that probably came out way longer, it would have probably done better. I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, we've spoken a lot about beef, and let's just try to, wrap this up, because if we continue for here, trust me, we'll keep mentioning beef and beef. Okay. So for you, what beef will you say was the best beef? So for among all the beef we've spoken about, which one stood out? Just mention the top two that stood out for you. That you still classify as your top beef ever.
MIVEC
1.
Yeah. And
there has to be a Ruggedman somewhere.
yeah. So like I want to see if there's anyone that beats a Ruggedman beef. So okay, since there is no one to be Ruggedman with all the people
he has beef with,
all of them. So like three of them put together has to be like the second best beef.
Okay, so let's wrap up this whole conversation with this whole internet and Twitter beef, and because that's what we get these days. We don't really get people going to the booth and sing song and say what we need to say. These days it's just about, you come on Twitter, what did Remininsce call them? Keyboard warriors, internet gangsters. That's what we have. And I feel that's what is virtually, fueling the beef between Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido. Even though Burna Boy recently came out to say he's no more beefing with David and they are all cool. That's what Burna Boy said on his Insta story. So, but then again, don't you feel like the beef that we have these days cannot really be classified as beef, more like publicity stunts, and just fans and they just allow fans to just push the whole narrative. I mean, you could remember the time about 2-3 years ago when we were saying, Wizkid and Davido were beefing, and all of a sudden Davido did a show and Wizkid came to perform on the show. Then only to follow like about 2-3 weeks later, we had that they were already beefing again. And
I don't think this new wave of beef. I don't really think it's beef, except there's something that is happening that we don't
really know.
And with these days, with internet and everybody snitching, if there's anything really down, I'm sure the industry
will get to hear about it.
Exactly. So right now, I think it's mostly the fans trying to just
push an agenda.
I am a Wizkid stan. Like Frog Voice is nowhere close to Wizkid. I am a Davido fan.
Really? You have to go there. Frog Voices.
I am a Davido fan, and Wizkid FC are just noisemakers. So I think it's just the fans who are actually pushing the whole thing. Although they've both taken shots at each other with the whole come closer, and there was something about somebody following somebody.
But that wasn't
Ronaldo followed.
But that wasn't really the music, though.
Yeah, so it was not music. That was just Twitter wars. And I would believe it's just the fans that just keep pushing this thing. So when something happens repeatedly over and over and over, you just get to, even people in your circle just tend to push you. And I'm sure Wizkid did not really want to tweet that Frog Voice tweet. It was just in the moment, like they're probably just having drinks and just chilling in the studio with some good kush and all that, and somebody just made a joke and like, oh, okay, this is a tweet that'll catch traction.
But don't you feel in this 2022, don't you feel it to be like a big boost for the industry if you can have the three of them together on a song? Or you feel like
Nah, it's nah. I don't think anybody's looking forward to that again. Like,
really?
Yeah, nah. No. They shouldn't try it. It's gonna be a flop. It's better people just anticipate. Like if
but what we have like maybe a Burna Davido or a Wizkid Davido, or maybe one or two of them.
We've seen Burna and Wiz do like 3 or 4 songs.
But both of them
together.
are good. Both of them are good, so we don't have any issues with them. I'm talking about Davido and Burna, because they had issue. Then they break they end their issue and they come and do a song together. At least Burna Boy has publicly come out to say that he's no more beefing with Davido. So what should if we get a song from them, do you feel it's going to be like
See, if we get a song from those guys, I don't think it's going to be music. It's going to be a management tussle, like strategies to. It's not going to be. If they actually come out and say, you know what, guys, let's sing, let's just do this music thing, I think it will be a very big hit. But what's going to happen is going to be management and strategies and time to drop, time not to drop, which verse to come first, which verse to come second, who is doing
who's going to take a longer verse,
who is taking longer verse. All those things are going to kill the song. There's going to be too much. These gangs like, no. These gangs like, it will be hard for them to actually make a song because there's been so much tension and all that. But I believe if both camps just come and, you know what, let's do this thing for the culture. Like, let's just make good music for the fans. Let's make them enjoy themselves. It's going to be a banger. But if they allow the whole management thing to enter inside, man, it's just going to, nah. Okay.
So, I know I've said we want to wrap this up, but something just popped into my head, and that's where we are going to see. After this, we are no more talking about beef.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about beef, and it just hit me. If we are talking about beef in Nigeria, almost everything we've said, aside from the Sheyi and Tiwa Savage, we've not really spoken about, any female beef. And I'm going to be honest, I think at the top of my head, I can't remember any except from probably the one Victor Kimani did with Kiss Daniels, Fuck You song,
challenge.
To Tiwa Savage.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been any major female beef in the industry. That's number one. And then number two, to wrap it up, because we are talking about beef, or let's want to restrict it to hip hop beef. I mean, we're not talking about the beef between Pasoma and Obese. We're not talking about the beef between the Fuji artists. Maybe we do like a part 2.
I swear.
Because if we are going to start that, we are going to start the Fuji beef. We might not end this podcast episode. So let's just leave that and let's just talk about, from the top of your head, is there any major female beef that you can remember that was not orchestrated by the fans, like the Tiwa Savage and the Yemi Alade one that we're always having almost every year? Was there any? Maybe there was a time Sasha was beefing with maybe Omaumi or maybe YG, or I don't think there was any big beef among the females.
I'll actually commend the female artists so far for different reasons, which I might not know, but I don't think there has been any kind of. The only public show out of beef we've seen, of course, has to be the hair salon issue with Sheyi and I think it had to do with Sheyi writing Tiwa Savage song, and there was no credits, blah 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 blah, and all that. But I don't think there has been a major. Yes, Yemi Alade and Tiwa Savage, the fans are always Mama Africa, African bad girl, real African. And for me, none of them is even the real African queen of music. But that's another discussion for another day. The real African queen of music is not even in Nigerian. So let's leave that talk for another episode. So it's actually none of them, but I think the females have more love than the guys. Okay, so the females are showing more love, and on that note, I want to say shout out to all the female listeners of the Cha-Cha Music Review podcast. I mean, you girls are amazing. You are my number one fan. I mean, when I check my statistics and I noticed that
girls are listening more than guys. I'm like, wow. So really, from the bottom of my heart, for real, man, I love each and every one of you. I wish I can see you guys and just give you guys a hug, but hey, take the digital hug, take the energy force hug, take everything. Baby, receive it. Thank you for doing this. I really, appreciate this. This has to be like one of my fun episode, in recording. And by the way, shout out to the girl that has made Gbemi more humble, more responsible. I need to give her a shout out because she's also a big fan of the podcast. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the Chacha Nation, you already know this is the end of the episode of the Chacha Let's Talk Music series. I will be back with another episode. So then I say,
Wait.
Okay.
Before you end it, notable mention.
Okay, notable mention.
Olamide Don Jazzy.
Oh,
now you can end it.
Now I can end it. Peace out.
Cha-cha time, time for the cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Rockin' with the best, cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Alaye with cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. What's in my body, cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang.